You been clicking go live and it hasn't gone live?
It's finally going. Let's see who's in. Oh, we're live. Howdy, folks.
We're
Howdy, y'all.
live.
And let's get rowdy. We have a special guest with us today, the one and only Sammy Slayed It. For folks who
Let me
don't
send this link out.
Yes, for folks who don't know, LOL, me and Sammy had a very successful show for years. Girls on my resume, actually. I'll tell you, it's on my LinkedIn, it's on my resume, it was on my resume, but
It's a girl on my resume.
period. I think it's such an accomplishment to be able. Me and Tamer were talking about it. She's a true creator. I just like talking and like
You're a creator too. Don't do that.
no, but like I like to like talk and yap and gab, like you know what I mean. But like you are like a true blue creator that like actually has like a social strategy and like like X, Y, and Z. Um, and so I need to finish sending this out to all of my people, but anyway, I have a hi Tati.
Hey Tati, you love me today or we beefed out? Some days she be loving me. Oh, see, and she already talk about I am the special guest. Yeah.
I have quite a few.
Oh, hold on, I forgot to put my crown on. Hold on.
Yeah, you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, let
But
me cut my camera for a second.
While she's getting herself together, let me add the slide on stage. So we have a lot to discuss, y'all. Just to give y'all just an overview, it's in the bio, but for people who don't read the bios that me and Chat create, we're talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, reunion, Near to Medicine, a little bit about Real Housewives of
You don't want to stay.
City. I know we got some like majorly devastating news earlier today, and so sending some love to Mary. So we won't get too deep into that. And then Traitors, of course. And what else? A little bit of Love is Blind, and then we're going to what we all came for, America's Next Top Model. I don't know if I can say that. They'd be copywriting, girl. I do not own the rights.
I was just about to say it.
So, but before I get into reality TV recap, Sammy, let me tell you what I've been watching this past month. And this is just a few of the shows. I'm like a real reality or not a real TV watcher. Like I love to like really get enmeshed into like a show, a series, and like the plot and all this stuff. Like me and my roommate have been watching Planet of the Apes. Such a fan. Did I send him the link?
You probably didn't. You probably didn't send nobody the link.
I did. I sent it to my pin chats. I didn't send it to everybody, unfortunately. But I put it on Insta. I need to do better at this, y'all. Like, hold me and my team, Sammy and Michaela, accountable. But we for being able to make it today.
Mind you, I just joined the team, so
just
yes, I want to say, Crown, focus.
I thought didn't we have some things that we were working on in the chamber as of last year, Starka?
I just joined the Royal Key team.
Oh,
now,
okay.
I was gonna say, as of last year, we have other things that we do need to work through. I looked at them albums today too, and I was like, "Ooh, overstimulated."
Look, am I not getting an assistant or somebody to really keep me on tap of all this stuff?
I tried with this crown. I'm gonna just put it. I don't know.
Put it right there. But yeah, so I was watching the OC season 1. Really good watch. I love I feel like I'm in the zone to watch asking me stuff about work. I'm in the zone. I'm still at work. I'm in the zone to sort of like watch early aughts type of TV shows like 90210, Gossip Girl, like those types of things because I just feel like, hi, Miss Britt. Hey, baby.
I want to watch 90210.
It's such a good show. It's on Amazon Prime now. So if you have Amazon Prime, I have it if you want my login. But whatever.
I got Amazon.
I was gonna say I think everybody has Amazon. So but yeah. Well actually Moni, I don't even use my Amazon. I use my sister's because she pays for no commercials. Nobody in my family with commercials. But anyway, OC's a good little show. It's about this guy, his family, left him for dead, left him for dead, left him dead. And so he ended up being taken up by this like rich lawyer man. And like, it's just showing him like trying to adjust and acclimate to life in the OC. I'm just on like episode 3 or 4, so like not a lot happens. But it's definitely an interesting show. It's an interesting watch. More interesting is Game of Thrones. I'm rewatching. So a little fun fact about me, I think I said this before, but I love TV, or not a TV. I love like listening to book reviews now. So like I do audibles because I don't. It's very hard for me and my disability to like read and like look. Tati said, "Send me the prime login."
You said, and yes, I need
Very
that.
hard. It's very hard for me to like read and like comprehend and absorb like what I'm like reading physically. And so like I do audibles because like taking it auditorily is like easier for me. And so with that, sometimes I don't have time to listen to like a full audible book. And so I do like the little recaps of like a book review, but I like a very in-depth book review. So like the book reviews I listen to are like 3 hours long. Like it's not like no quick like 30
You
minutes.
might as well listen to the book.
No, babes, because the books is like 9 hours or like 18 hours. So
Just
like
put the speed up.
I do pick the speed up, but I also want to retain it and be like, wait, what's happening? And like, you know what I mean? Versus like when you're giving me a summary, tread lightly.
I really say I got somebody logged in.
Well, nowadays people are so nasty when it comes to sharing. And so like I'm able to share stuff or get stuff because I watch things through my iPad. But like on the Apple TV, it's like need your password again, need your password again. Don't piss me off.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Game of Thrones is a great rewatch. I just like got into the books, or I just finished the books in my book reviews. And like it really does give you like all of the tea that like the show.
They don't put in the show.
Yeah, like season one was like season one and book one were very hand in hand. A lot of the same stuff happened. Like there's not many changes, but like as it gets further on, there's a lot of different liberties, and of course the show is over and the book's not isn't over yet. And so
Okay. So
it,
I may need to do that because the Harry Potter hoes was on me. Don't come for me now. But they were on me because I made a comment about Harry Potter and his custody arrangement and what was going on. And apparently, like, it was touched on in depth in the books, but it
yes.
was not touched on in depth in the movies. And they all like, well, we can tell who read the books and who watched the movies. And so they was preaching to the masses, talking about, oh, you can go listen to it on Audible. Just go read a book. Da da da, whatever, whatever.
Yeah, people are so nasty about it.
I'm gonna still go watch the movie.
I do want to jump into Harry Potter might not be that long, and so I think I am gonna get those audibles. I have so many audible credits, and so I need to get into that. And I'm actually one of the newest books I'm going to get. I love fantasy. Like fantasies is books that I will re-listen to. Anything else, I'm just gonna watch it that one time. But Direbond by Sable Sorensen, that's next on my thing to order and buy. So
It's called Direbond.
Dire
Oh.
bound.
What's the main idea?
I'm not sure. I just was talking about it at work. One of the people we represent, and so I'm like, or we represent the author, and so I'm like, okay, let me like, I love the genre. Like, we represent amazing clients, so I'm sure that like, you know what I mean. Like, I'm sure it's going to be quality work and quality art. But yeah, so Game of Thrones, such a great watch. So I started watching Game of Thrones late. I started watching Game of Thrones like season 4 or 5 because I don't like watching shows when there's hype around it, if that makes sense. Unless it's like reality TV, but like I still haven't watched Heated Rivalry. Like there's a lot of shows that I'm just like I'm not getting into because like I'm no, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? Like Sammy, you know what it is. I get overwhelmed, and so
I
people
know what it is. And
have you
people
watched it?
spill the beans and spoil stuff on the
Well, I
internet.
don't mind that. I don't mind that. It's just like being in the wave and of the zeitgeist of everyone being on top of something at the same time is overwhelming to me. I much rather like, oh yeah, like there's like a niche group of people who are on board, but it's not like it's a new thing. Like Pokemon, love Pokemon. A lot of people be in the Pokemon world, like Sims, all
Oh,
those
I
things.
should have called you. I found a random Pokemon card when I was walking on my lunch walk. It's a gold Charizard. Um,
Yes. Did you get
but I
it?
don't know if it's real because they was on threads talking about it may be a replica.
And like that stuff doesn't matter. Like it's still something, child. Like the people be like replicas. That only matters when you're selling it. And even then, some people buy
Well,
replicas.
I might
They're
sell
so
it.
good.
Do you
Yeah,
sell
my
it?
nephews have so many Pokemon cards and like they're collecting them and like they definitely I think are gonna start selling some, but that's
Do
like
you sell it?
no, the cat. Anyway, so when I first watched Game of Thrones, I thought I was a Lannister. And I still do think that there's a lot of like me that's very Lannister down.
You still
But
give Lannister to me.
but I realized that I'm a little bit more polished around the edges and I'm a little bit more like, couth. And so the girls say that I'm more of a Tyrell, which are essentially the Lannisters but flowery. But people are like, "Oh, why not a Tyrell?" And I'm like, "I'm not that classy." But apparently I'm given that classy. Um,
Yeah.
but I do be giving a little elitism sometimes, like the Lannisters do, girl. But the Lannisters are intense and like cruel and diabolical. I'm not
Very
that.
cruel. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I say I wouldn't see you on the cruel side, but I do see you being like a cutthroat Lannister bitch.
correct. I'm very cutthroat,
Yeah.
very Slytherin bound. I'm very cutthroat. I'm very about my shit. And I'm very about my
I
family.
ended up in Slytherin. I started playing the Legacies, Hogwarts Legacies, and I'm a Slytherin girl. I was like, yeah, we knew, we knew.
Oh,
Six
my baby
thirteen
girl
bust
is
down.
here. Hi.
Is that Lauren?
Yes.
Hey Lauren, don't
The
tell this
9-1
coward
send
girl.
me. I gotta ask her what that mean. Um
Be who you are.
but yeah, so the girls say I'm a Tyrell and a Lannister, and they say a little bit
I
of
can see it.
a little Martell and
I
Stark, but
think
I
I'm a full
don't really
blooded
see that Targaryen.
Targaryen.
I
Yeah,
know
full
I'm not
blooded.
that. Like, granted, the Targaryen girls, they were ethereal. They were very like, you know what I mean? Like the Targaryens are very like, I'm not that though. And the dragons, no. Like I feel like I'm
They
a
very do what the fuck they want, run some shit.
I
And
feel
that
like
is
give me Valerian. I love the Valerian family from Dancing the Dragons or whatever it's called. That's the book, but I forgot what the show was called. House of Dragons. Which we
hmm
watched that after I finished this Game of Thrones
Oh, you
rewatch.
haven't started House of the Dragons yet?
Yeah, I watched it and I'm caught up, but like I'm doing a rewatch after the
Oh,
books.
okay. I see.
Oh, look, period. Green Tyrell was not no puck now, okay?
Period.
Art was like she was on it. Mind you, as I'm watching this, so when I first watched it, I was just trying to speed through to catch up. As I'm watching, I'm like, wow, like I didn't notice some of these, and plus knowing some of the book knowledge is in my head, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know like half of these things happened. Um,
hmm
Miley said he got a rant about something. My poor baby. I hope he come up on the screen or on the game. Anyway, real quick because I want to hurry up and speed through the reality TV stuff, and I want to like really
You ain't
get into
gotta speed too
Sarah.
fast, you know.
I know, but I use the first 30 or the first like 20 to talk about my shows, but like we on a little limited time, so I don't
Oh,
want to talk
we are. We
about like
are.
about these shows. If people not watching it, I know Tati said that she's watched The Burbs, or what did she say? The Burbs is a cool watch. I really enjoyed it. It was very cringe the first 2-3 episodes. So for people who don't know, The Burbs is the show with Kiki Palmer and like some white British man. And I love Kiki Palmer. There's nothing that Kiki Palmer isn't in that I won't like try, if that makes sense.
hmm
I'll look at the teaser, I look at a trailer, and I might look at the movie or the film. Like I'm going to try out what she got going on. Not her podcast though. I don't really listen
It's
to.
the not her podcast.
There's no shade. I just
You
don't really
just
listen to
said
like
you give it
people.
a taste.
That's different. That's not even her art. Like that's just her, and I love her personality. But like I'm good on the clips.
She don't give
Uh,
like a little baby Yunty.
no, Yanti's ratch and like honest and like hard. Like Kiki's funny like Yanti, but like Yanti's like will curse you out and curse out whoever you want to her to curse out. Like
Yeah.
Yanti don't play.
I just seen she did a live show. She called somebody baby daddy called and like in the middle of the show and she cussed them the hell out. I was like, oh, Tia Kemp was all we needed in life.
Didn't I send you and Tati that clip that it was like they think it's her talking to Miss Netta?
Oh yeah. It
Yeah,
was her. It was her, definitely.
but anyway, The Burbs is a really good watch. It's suspense and thriller, which I don't really like. It's not that much of it, but I don't really like that. I don't like stuff that like what's that show with Siobhan Shiv from Succession? She's on it. It's like it's something about the baby. I think I don't want to spoil it, but something about the baby. They lose the baby or whatever. Um,
Oh,
on Peacock or something. It's
I
like
know
Watch Her Out or something like that. Beyond Her or
her
Keep a
so it's
Hold. Or,
something her. I watched it too and it was really good, but it's something with her.
exactly. That stuff is too
Blame
much for
her, bitch.
me. Mm-mm. It's something like
Now
let me
I'm
look at
mad
it
because I
real
really
quick.
was into it too. All her fault. There we go.
Yes.
All her
Yes, yes,
fault.
yes, yes, yes.
I
Not
had to
my
get
type of
it.
thing. Wait, what is this? I love tea. I love tea. When we throwback when we was on our show and we was
No,
Young
baby, you
Kim
love
and
some
Tokyo
tequila.
Tony. But anyway, y'all, okay. I'm getting my stuff ready to get into the reality TV recap. I really love High Potential, such a great show. Really recommend it. I just got back into season 2. It's about this girl who's like partnering up with the detectives, and like she just has like an amazing like high Q. She has an amazingly high IQ, and like she helps them, like she sees things in the world that's different than other people, and it's just things like that are funny. It gives me nostalgia. It gives me like the Drop Dead Diva. It gives me like the like those older shows in the early aughts, which is why I'm watching the OC. Like I that's when TV was TV. This shit that they got now, I don't
I
know.
need to go back and watch. I
Yeah.
low key wanna run the hills too.
You know what? I'm gonna get into after I'm done with OC. I'm gonna get into One Tree Hill, and then I'll get into the Laguna Beach and the hills and stuff like that too.
Hmm.
But and then Gilded Age, recommend Gilded Age. I finally all her fault. Thank you, Tati. I finally watched all of season 3. Beyond. I think I was watching it on the last show. But I love Gilded Age. I love season 3. Season 3 talks about colorism. We have Felicia Rashard, head light skin in charge. Like she was like, "Girl, I don't want them baby. Girl, I told you about having my grandbabies run outside, being outside too long." Like very like just like black. Like it just gives me back. I'm back in the South, and I just really love that. Like you don't see a lot of
I'm
that
making this out.
other than you watching if you watching Real Housewives of
Okay,
Potomac.
you might have me tuned into that one.
Oh, Gilded Age is so good. I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend it. Okay. Now getting into the show. So, Sam, I'm gonna just ask you some questions since I have you up here. I'm gonna ask the guests too. But so Married to Medicine, as y'all know, it follows our Atlanta doctors, their circle, you know, how they juggle sort of like, you know, their relationships, they juggle, you know, their friendships, they juggle their careers. Most of them are married to medicine, literally because that's their jobs, or they're married to medicine because they're married to a doctor. So it's about doctors and doctors' wives. And so just to give a little bit of like what's going on right now, you know, this season, of course, of at least what happened in this month, they're in Jamaica for the most part. There's a lot of things happening. We have Miss Quad, who is in her surrogacy journey, and that her scenes about that like broke my heart. I'll get into that a little bit more. We have Toya being, you know, our queen Techie Toya. Now they're going to their oh no, they were on a trip in Miami. Now they're on a couple's trip in
They
Jamaica.
stay on the trip.
They say, which I love. Like I'm like
I want that to be me, you
yeah,
know.
my friends back home give very much like, you know, like married to something, and I be kind of want to be married just so we can do stuff like that, but I don't want to be married either. So you know, shout out to my husband though. But but yeah, so we have while they're doing this trip, Toya, everybody's doing the scrub line. Dr. Jackie's doing the scrub line. Angel Love's doing the scrub line. Angel Love, our gorgeous baddie in the corner. And Toya's doing her trip. On top of doing her trip, she's doing the Med Gala. Med Gala is something that they do every year. And it's essentially like a time that they bring all the Black community together in Atlanta, the Black medical community together in Atlanta.
That's
Um,
cool.
it's really cool. Like it's stuff like that that I'm like,
We should go.
we not married to medicine.
We ain't gotta be married. Baby, look, I'm gonna get us. We gonna figure it out. We gonna have a reason to go.
Okay, and they film, girl. They really run a tight ship there, I'm sure. But look,
We'll
well, you know
figure it
my
out.
friend, you know my classmate, she was on last season of Married to Medicine, so that was my end if I was ever gonna have one.
Ooh.
But she went to college with me. I'll talk to you about her offline though.
Okay.
Yes, the
I
hills.
Tati got the DVD.
Look, love Gilded. Tati gives DVD. Okay, anyway, so Simone and Heavenly are also beefing because Heavenly is running for Dr. Heavenly is running for Congress. I believe she has a congressional run. Everyone is like poking holes into that too much. And then Toya is like, girl, like, is this even serious? And so is Simone. And like Dr. Heavenly's mouth is nasty. So anyway, first question. So, like I said, Toya's in charge of the Met Gala. The last 2 years, Toya has not done anything for the Met Gala. They've been like, "Hey, can we get $1,500, $2,000?" And she's like, "No, y'all didn't tell me what y'all need. Like, y'all need to da 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 da. I'll donate wine." Like, very like hard. And so this year, she's trying to like, shepherd it, and she's like, hey y'all, like you were right, like act like she like essentially learned her lesson, and she's like, yeah, like, like I've been trying to do this, and like it really is easy if we just all lean in, yada yada yada. And so or if anybody else, I don't think anybody else watches Married to Medicine, but um with Toya leading this, and Toya is known as like the rambunctious, like, like she's the doctor's wife, and she's one of the longest running doctor's wives that's still on the show. She was on it with Mariah Huck. She's very much so. She gives me very like Chelsea energy if she married a doctor. Or at least Chelsea when she was married. Chelsea not when she a different girl, but when Chelsea was married, she was and Chelsea, for folks who don't know, is my ace. She was a totally different person, but she was like so bougetto and so like, like very like I want it all. Oh shoot, I'm missing, I'm screaming. I could be married to medicine. Exactly. Exactly, Sammy.
Oh,
Married to
baby, we'll have a show.
every time I hear Dr. Heavily, I hear is she's always beefing with somebody. Exactly. Yeah,
Not you gonna
Sammy.
make a cameo.
We all are. We all are. But anyway, with her leading the Med Gala and now leading sort of the Jamaica's couples trip, do we feel like Toya is getting these leadership opportunities because they want to see the growth within her, or is it because it's going to be good TV with how the people respond to it? Let me know if you watch the show, Sammy. What you think? And
Well,
let me
I
know.
don't watch the show,
Yeah,
but based off of what you have told me, it seems like it is gonna be good TV because one, she hasn't done anything with the Met Gala, and then like placing her right at the center and having her kind of like run the show, some things are gonna pop off, and people gonna be shady. They're gonna be like, oh well, because that would be my immediate thought, like, well, why she running the show? She ain't did shit. Like, so
exactly.
I'm pretty sure the other ladies are following suit and saying the same thing. So it's definitely gonna give her good TV, and that's where I think they're headed with it.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of both. Like Toya is so underrepresented, or not underrepresented, like she's like what that unsung hero. Like she really is some of the glue to a lot of Married to Medicine to the ladies. Like she moves the storyline along. She's not afraid. Her and her husband really do have a strong relationship. It might not seem like it's the most like, traditional, like sort of like healthiest, so to speak, but like they're so honest with each other, like rawfully honest with each other, that it's like that they don't have as many problems probably as these other groups that are like trying to keep it together and like only addressing certain things. Like they get it all out. And so
As
with
they
that,
should.
Simone says she's passing the torch because Simone and Cecil have been married for the longest, but she said her and Cecil's marriage is in the struggle, and so that's why she wanted Toya to sort of lead. And I do think that that was like intentional because I think that like she could have had someone else. Like I don't think that like I said, they do have a very strong relationship, and Toya is bougie, and so she's gonna make sure they have a great experience for the couple's trip.
Come on, bougie.
But Toya just kicked 3 girls out her house because they was talking about how she was yelling at her husband. And so, is this someone who we want to follow in the couple's trip? Um, and yeah, they were asking like, is this good for us as a group? As she kicked half of us out, and she has an issue with half of us. Like, or because Simone and Toya are real tight. Um,
I mean, she ain't wrong, but
yeah, and I think also too, like a big thing is like Simone's having so much tension. Like everyone has tension with Dr. Heavily, but Dr. Heavily is arguably like one of the biggest stars from the show. And so,
yeah.
it gets so uncomfortable because there's the Fab Five. So the Fab Five are the people who've been on since season 2 and beyond. And so that's Toya, Dr. Simone, Dr. Jackie, Dr. Heavenly, and Quad. And so like they are the group. It's 3 doctors and 2 wives. They are real friends. They're in each other's lives. They know they've grown in sort of this reality TV world together. Um, and so anytime that there's like deep fractures within the Fab Five, it shows. And honestly, like last season, it was so hard to watch the season. But like I'm hoping that like Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Simone like they don't sit in that too long. I wish Jayla. Oh no, Jayla's not even watching it. It was funny because like Dr. Heavenly, after she was yelling at Dr. Simone, they tried to take a picture at Angel Love Scrub event, and she's like, "Okay, baby, let's take a picture." And Dr. Simone said, "Get your hands off of me." And then Dr. Heavenly's like, "Oh, bitch, I gotta go. Bitch, I gotta go." Like Dr. Heavenly is very like leaving herself out of like she's getting out of the way because she's getting into it with so many of the women. Um, I think that's insane. Or not insane. I think it's very interesting, especially. But I do think that the women are baiting her for her congressional run, and so I do ask this too. Would you trust someone who's been on a reality television show with a long-standing history to be a member of Congress?
Is she going as a member of Congress, or I thought she was doing like
She
city
wants to be a state
council?
representative, but now it's let me see, Dr. Heavenly for
I
Georgia.
thought it was like city council at large or something.
No, she was running for yeah, she wants to be a US representative. She,
I
she was running for like a state or whatever seat, but now she wants to be have one of the US seats.
I feel as though if we can have the thing that we have in that house that's white in in Washington, I feel as though anybody can do anything. And I don't have a problem with it, honestly. She probably
Mhm.
more in tune with what we got going on anyway.
So I want to say this part too, and I'll move on from Real Housewives or from Married to Medicine. Even though I love this show, this is like clearly one of my favorite shows on Bravo. But
I need to start tuning in. You know you got me on Real Housewives of Potomac. So
she said it's not white, it's orange. Please, Britt. Um, so Dr. Heavenly, like in addition, she's a dentist. Before being a dentist, she had or while being a dentist, she's had opened up multiple businesses across Atlanta. In the Georgia region, in that little region area that she's in. And so like she being a physician or I think this is her being a doctor, being a medical professional. She sees a lot of people. She works with a lot of people. Being in like this reality TV, you know, everybody. I feel like everybody in Atlanta is on a reality TV show, and so like she has like that network. And so like the girls are saying she knows a lot of people, and she knows a lot of like what's going on in these people's areas because she's had businesses in these people's areas. It's just her mouth.
yeah,
And
and that's what I was gonna say. Like when we see other, I think that the exposure to reality TV may be like a hindrance for her, but it should not stop. Like it should not stop us from
if she's the
considering
best
her
candidate, if she's
because,
the best candidate,
huh?
if she's the best candidate.
If she's the best candidate, it shouldn't stop us from considering her because also I think that we have it bad. Like we see these celebrities and what they do on reality TV, but we never like actually do the research to see what they do behind the scenes. So she could actually be making moves and making big changes and helping the community and these different things, but we so focused on scrutinizing her for what she's doing on reality TV that we
Mhm.
can't hone in on what she's doing in the community.
And to be
So
fair, like she's a dentist and a doctor. She's not Natalie Nunn.
thank
Um,
you. Now, if
and
we said
so
Natalie Nunn, then I,
and so I think
girl.
that's what separates a lot of the women from Married to Medicine. And it's not to say that the women from the housewife shows aren't professionals as well, but like these women were professionals before they were reality TV personalities.
That
And
part.
so I think that that's the difference. Like she's been on the show for 10 years, been a dentist for over like, 10 about 20 years. So it's like, you know what I mean? It doesn't erase her professional, whatever, just because she's seen in this light and she's doing what she can to keep the show afloat and alive. And that gives her notoriety. But anyway, enough of that. Let's move on. Real Housewives of
Oh,
Potomac.
they look good. Okay.
These are their reunion looks. Unfortunately, we don't see Miss Karen, but I would love for you to rate the girls on
The
best dressed
fits,
for
the dresses.
work.
Well,
Hmm.
I really appreciate that the dresses flow well together.
Hmm.
Okay. So Miss to the who is this? Left. Who is she?
Which one
All the way to the left.
is that?
Last
The one with the
with the
midriff
kind
or
of
like the stomach thing showing?
uh-huh.
Yeah. What about her?
Who is she?
That's Tia. Tia is our Nigerian British princess.
Okay, our
Um,
Nigerian princess. She does look like she got that from Fashion Nova. But it's the head tilt. But it looks cute, but it does look like something I could purchase off Fashion Nova. Um,
mhm. First lady.
First lady.
First lady, Giselle.
First lady. You know, I never was a Giselle stan, and I don't care. Like it never. She always just gave too much of a mean girl. You know how like they're supposed to for the
Yeah.
storyline, whatever yada yada yada. Like she really in that shit, and she also looked like she went to Ross. That dress is doing nothing.
Maybe I should have got better pictures, but
Yeah, maybe I need another view because from what I can see, the dress is doing nothing. Now, Miss Wendy came.
this is very Sammy in my opinion.
Wendy
Very
came
Sammy.
exactly, Tati. Wendy came. She said, "I'm gonna be the star. You know, we're gonna be in a show. This is what it is." Now, who's that to the right
I'm sending
after
these to you.
after Wendy?
Stacy, the breakout star.
I like Stacy. I like what it's doing. The top really saved her because everything like under that was gonna give fashion over too. I don't know where everybody's shopping. We all with the same overseas designers.
I think she had a Nigerian stylist.
Or the not okay. Um okay, Miss Dang, I done forgot her name
Forehead.
too. Huh?
Forehead. Miss Forehead.
Miss work my nerves. Miss she always doing something. She got a new man already or no?
Ish, and she been playing around with him on the season. If we had more time, I'd get into that. I'd dig into that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Ashley next. Who's the next lady?
Kiarna.
Kiarna. I don't see
Miss
enough of it
Condo
though,
No
but
Ring.
I kinda like she got a ring. Okay. I
She
like this.
don't.
I
She
like
has a
what
condo though.
I like the what the condo got.
That's what her boyfriend got her, but it's not her fiance.
I mean, I would rather a house than a ring. But this I like this here. I like what's going on. I do like the deep slit. I guess maybe like it's the sequence of it all. The
Yeah.
sequences and the flash like I don't something about it gives a little cheap. Miss Thing right here, who is she?
Custom. Custom. And that's
She does give
Angel.
it
She's
looks
married to
custom.
she's married to a football, former football player. She's a wag.
Oh wow. And what's her name?
Angel.
Angel. Okay. I like Miss Angels. Like I like women that do the most. You know, so I like that she
I
bought the
enjoy
fur.
Angels as well.
The fur, slip it over, and
Giselle's not married.
not who the first lady from Ross dressed for less married to. Yeah, I like Angel's fit. I feel like she came. It does look simple, but it still looks upscale. Like it doesn't give. It is very Jessica Rabbit is.
Oh, okay. I'm about to share my screen real quick
Okay.
so that we can look at
The condo.
no, ma'am. So that we can look at the dresses from the front real quick. Oh
Oh,
shoot.
okay, okay.
Oh
I'm
no,
just
I
trying to
can't
get more
do
to
it. It's
say.
gonna make me hang up.
I was gonna make you hang up.
Oh, maybe it's not. Let's see. Okay. There we go. All right. Can you see it?
Okay.
So
Okay, hold on.
these are their dresses, and then we're gonna go with fashion for less or Ross for less.
And it's still giving Ross for less. It didn't
Ashley.
do no better. Now
This looks
Ashley, I will
cute.
say
She
hers
looks like
looks a
that.
little better.
She looks like that guinea pig from Zootopia, the one who daddy was a Bob boss with that updo, that pintail ponytail.
Don't piss me off.
No, okay.
But
Uh,
it does look better from that angle. I am vibing with that angle.
girl,
Look
not
at
them.
that.
Look at
Come
this. This is
on.
great.
The
Mm-hmm.
material. The
Why he look edited?
material. That's how you supposed to show up. And
Stacy.
see, yeah.
I'm a fan
It's
of this from the front with
it's
the middle
is that
part.
see-through?
I don't know, girl. Like kind of. I can't see your face, so I don't know what you're doing.
I'm making faces. It's okay. Okay,
Kiana,
yeah, see, I
you
like
like
it
this
more from this
more?
angle. I like this
Mhm.
more.
Jazzy, a friend of the
Oh,
show.
go ahead, scroll on, baby. Scroll on, baby, because she knew better.
Miss Monique Samuels.
I love Monique Down, but girl,
Go,
I
go,
get the
Power
statement.
Rangers.
I get the statement. It's just that leg thing that's really what.
Mm,
Yeah, it's the leg thing, but I get the statement.
the Grand
And look,
Dame.
the grind dome. I'm with it.
I'm
I
with it. Hold on, let
She
me
could have came
see
a little harder, but I'm with it.
if we can see. Okay, this is Tia, our Nigerian princess.
Still giving Fashion Nova.
Okay. And then this is Angel. This is
Okay.
doing too much.
You
It
said it's
looks
doing too
good though.
much?
It looks like it's doing too much. Just like three different types of
The
materials.
Oh, because she got
Lace
the first.
and
But I'm
mug.
with it. I support it.
Lace and mug. Okay. Enough of that. Thank you for indulging into me. To get back into it real quick. So
If people don't know, that's how I be rating your outfits when you be getting dressed to go.
I should have. I'm glad that I went
Lauren,
through
please,
that
I'm about to
because
send you some fur for next month so you can wear the wrong.
yeah, Jazzy was a paper towel covered in blood. Not a Nigerian. Yeah, it is Nigerian. The girl look T. I think Tia, Stacy. I think even who knows. Anyway, so real quick, we're at the reunion now, but like the season wrapped up. We talked about Angel and her trip. So Sammy, I talked about it with you in the chat, but I'm gonna talk about it, bring it back on up again up here. And then we're talking about Karen. We got a chance to see Karen like 2 weeks after she was released from jail. She did a sit down interview and conversation with Andy. And like we're not at part 3 of the reunion yet, so we are going to get back to Potomac next month. Just like that last part of the show that's literally on March 1st. So y'all know how I do, girl. You know I stretch it on out till I see it. And so maybe we'll talk a little bit more about what happened at the reunion. But yeah, so did you watch the finale segment? I know Tati, you watched the finale segment with Karen, doing her sit down interview, and like a lot of people were sort of mixed because they was like, why is that the finale? And we saw them in Colorado with the trip that ain't work out. But
I didn't
uh
watch it. I was supposed to because I remember y'all had jumped in the chat talking about it.
yes, and I know Tati wasn't a fan at all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we move. Um, and then but yeah, a lot of people were split because they said that they wish they would have saw like more fun versus seeing Karen, and then also like versus seeing Karen, they thought they were going to have a real conversation with Karen, versus what they feel like they got. They feel like she escaped accountability and she just talked a lot about like prescription drugs when she was arrested for drinking and driving, not taking other things. And so what would you have preferred, Sammy, for the finale? Like or like on which side do you err on? Of like, would you have liked to continue on with sort of like the fun and like the like seeing after the trip in Colorado since it was so uneventful and successful, or like was it okay that we wrapped with Karen?
I would rather see the fun. Like I want to see people interacting. I want to see, like they could have gave Karen 15 minutes and then the rest of the show,
Mm-hmm.
everybody talk about the fun and what was going down.
Mm-hmm.
Why
And
didn't
just
this Colorado trip work out?
and regrouping. And so how would you have salvaged your Colorado trip? If you
How would I
remember what
have?
happened last month.
Huh?
If you can remember what happened last month where we talked about it, how would you have salvaged the Colorado trip?
I would have enjoyed my trip and let everybody else do what they want to do.
That was the problem.
Oh,
She made sure her and her two friends, Kay and Tia, who were in her house, she Tati, please.
Tati, always,
She made
always.
sure her and her two friends, who was in her house, had a grand time. But the woman who was at the other one, she didn't really check in on them as much. And they
Well,
had
where she messed up was she had them in different. Weren't they far away?
like an
Like,
hour and a
yeah.
half away, close to two
Now
hours
I
away.
wouldn't have done that. That's a little stank, whatever. But like if we were in the same space and like y'all just being stank and whatever and doing child look, I'ma go ahead and enjoy my trip and y'all do what y'all do. Make it worth your while, baby.
We're gonna get into that a little bit, Tati. Um, yeah, and so I don't know. I think for me, what I would have done to salvage the trip is I would have kept this all together as well. They said the Four Seasons. I know I would have preferred to be in my house, but I would have maybe did like a sleepover at my house. at an event and then like brought everyone to this 4 seasons. But like these are grown women. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like a sleepover can work for me and my friends if I'm like, hey y'all, like come to my house.
I'm about
Like
to say we grown women
they're 40 and 50.
and we're 30. We'll be 40 soon.
High late 40s.
And I'm gonna still come spend the night at your house.
No, that's fine. Clearly, Tia enjoys spending the night at the house, but I'm saying like having like a sleepover and like like maybe people here and people there and like stuff like that. Like, don't be too good, but like these women are like, oh, well, I expect this and that, and so like I agree with Angel. I'm not about to leave you bitches in my house like that just for you to complain and creak and teak and a fly coming in from you holding the door open and like, yeah, she got bugs in her house.
You know
Which
hoes love to do that. This ain't even my
one?
main house. Don't piss me off.
What when
Don't piss me
it's
off.
my house, but when Kim Zodiac recorded that water bug and Nene talking about what the hell is this?
Kim
And
used
she
to
said,
stress me
and
out.
Nene talking about was a motherfucking water bug. Meanwhile, you have roaches crawling out your pussy. But do you not remember that?
I do, but why you got so close to the camera
That's how Nene talks.
and
Anyway, so shifting from Karen's conversation to Wendy's conversation. So Wendy was arrested for a few charges inciting like fraud and things allegedly, which like fraud and things
allegedly.
like that. And so they showed a sit down between Wendy and Eddie where they were essentially just talking to them about like, you know what I mean, like what was it? I'm blanking. Like how did it feel? Wendy's like, so Tati, I'm curious of your thoughts. And so Wendy told Eddie like, do you think our marriage is going to survive this? Which, do you think that's a fair question?
Why would your marriage struggle through? Because did somebody commit the crime?
Clock it. The girls are saying that Wendy is trying to set this up as if it was, or maybe they're both trying to set this
All
up.
him.
Just have one parent with the children and maybe set it up to be like it was Eddie who was involved. Because at first they separated, like they were together and then they separated the cases, like or when they went to court, and then they put them back together. And like they haven't gone to court lately. And so like a lot of stuff is gonna come out once that happens. I'm sure I'll, discuss it when it's here. But yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are. Um, and then let me see. It wasn't a bond trip. Everything was too far. Everyone was separated. I can imagine. Tati would have pissed me off if she was
Oh
in a.
yeah, Tati would have called every. Well, you bitches, if y'all go over there and meet us over here, we could all be here at the same time. Like, I don't understand why y'all acting stupid.
We just gonna meet at the Four Seasons, okay? And we gonna
We
handle that
gonna meet.
shit
Just
there.
meet me at the Four Seasons, bitch.
Hmm. Woody.
Oh, we gotta do a group trip.
We do. I told. Well, you didn't come to our last group trip.
Oh,
Wendy pissed
anyway.
me off with that damn voice. She was like, "Do you think our marriage is gonna survive this?" Anyway, let me speed up. The good. We'll talk about more of it later. Because I want to spend at least 10 minutes talking about Tyra.
Okay.
Real Housewives, Salt Lake City reunion wrapped up. Who knows what they end up in now? But just again to say, Mary Crosby lost her son. I heard that she lost him on Monday, allegedly. But they spreaded the news today just to give her a little bit more time. And I think that's like very sad. At the reunion, she said she rather her son has like or had a troubled relationship with drugs. Um, and she said that she'd rather him in jail than dead. And so the fact that that ended up happening is heartbreaking for so many of us. Um, and so I do hope that, yeah, I do pray for her. Mary, people call her the grandfather effer, but that boy was all she had. Like
Hmm.
past, she doesn't have a relationship with like a lot of her family members because of this church stuff. Like my heart really goes out to Mary. Like I don't know where I would be if I was her. Um,
Crying, crying and crying.
yeah, a puddle. Traitors, we're gonna wrap this up about this next month because the finale and reunion come on to tomorrow, and so we're just gonna talk about this next month. But I think it's a shame. It's Black History Month, and we don't have no Black people in, and they got rid of all of them so soon. They got rid of Portia first week. They got rid of Monet just cause they was on, you know, Ron's head most of the time. Tiffany ended up getting out because she was just playing a smart game, even though she's a faithful. People were just being sloppy. And like Candace, you know, Candace got a little bit sloppy at the end, but she was playing a really good job at a really good job as a traitor. Tati, I don't think that I think he was out of jail. I think that's what happened. He was out of jail when it happened.
Tati, so no trial, ma'am.
I didn't even read that part. Anyway, Love is Blind, real quick. We'll probably talk about it next month as well. I'm really loving Love is Blind this season. Loving is
They
from
never have prospects. Prospects. I want something good to look at on
Vic
our
is
side.
fine.
Who?
Vic,
But it's only Vic. Mike got a little something working with him, but look, out of
Mike is
out of one, two,
handsome.
three, four, five, six, seven, eight niggas. I mean, eight
Yeah.
men. Wait, seven. My bad.
Well, these are the ones who are getting married. There were other men who didn't, you know, make it. So these are
Did they
the
look
official
good?
couples. Sorry if y'all didn't watch Love is Blind yet, girl. So sorry, but these are the married couples to be. Um, and I have a lot of thoughts to say about this, so I'll wait until next month.
Yeah, wait until I catch up.
Na, 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 na,
Hold on, I
na.
need some glasses so I can be like
Okay,
Miss J.
so let's get into it. So for folks who don't know, Tyra Banks did her, or it wasn't Tyra Banks, but there was a reality check um, over America's Next Top Model, which was really popular in the early aughts, throughout, like, you know, time, and had a lot of sort of controversy in their past with like some of the competition that they put the girls in, and like what was actually like what was the success rate? Were these people actually models? Were they actually given more talent? Were they taken seriously, or given more opportunities? Were they taken seriously? It's a 3 episode sort of like piece, really featuring Tyra Banks, their producer Ken Mock, a lot of their major, or 3 of their major judges, Jay Manuel, Nigel Barker, and Miss J, as well as a few former contestants and winners. And so a lot of people have been talking about, since like in the pandemic when people really started watching this again, about like the cultural sort of like impact that it had, and like looking at it now with like modern lens and being like, what the hell were we watching, and what the hell was happening, and this is not okay, and this was abuse, and this was like all these other sorts of things. And I have a few questions set up for us that I want to get into, but Sammy, before we get into it, I want to know your initial thoughts, and I'll share mine too. I'm happy to share mine first if you want.
I can share my initial thoughts. I think the girls are gonna hate me. Um, I feel like a lot of everybody that I feel like it was a Let's Jump Tyra show.
I agree.
Um, and like while they had the brief moments of yeah, Tyra did this and Tyra did that and Tyra opened this door, like it was overpowered by like all the negative things they were saying about her. And I feel like Tyra was just as, not just as, like she had a little bit of more stepping stone. But Tyra was
A
also
bit
a
more,
victim of
but
the
yeah,
culture. Like
she was.
she was a victim within the culture.
Hmm.
And like I don't think we can fully blame her for trying to open the door. Like I get what Tyra was saying. She was trying to open the door, but she had to wiggle here and do, tap dance there and wiggle there. Of course, I don't subscribe to that type of shit. But if that's the way she wanted to, she wanted to open the door. But I did not like how they kind of just like ganged up and bashed on Tyra. Now I will say Tyra was a poor ass friend to her people. Now, and that's why they ganged up
And
and
that's where we
bashed
disagree.
her, huh?
And that's where we'll disagree.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, but maybe that's why they ganged up and bashed her or whatever. But I feel like she was a poor friend in a lot of the situations that they explained. But as far as the show, I'm gonna give Tyra her flowers. She definitely opened the gateway. We saw more black models. We saw more brown models. We saw more plus size, even though they had their moments. But like we got more, and she got these women, these average women, like regular women, just working on Walgreens. All I'm thinking about is share.
Because why would you
But
go with that example? Oh my gosh.
but like finding these random women and putting them like in on runways and putting them in photo shoots. Like she did that, and we gotta
Mhm.
give her that. She had a negative, and she taking a spanking, but we can't just discredit everything.
Mhm. I feel that my initial thoughts just of watching it, I've never watched, contrary to, I seem like it, but I've never watched America's Next Top Model aside from the 2 or 3 seasons that they had boys on there as well. And I was in college. So I didn't grow up watching America's Next Top Model.
I
I
did.
saw season 3 for the first time during the pandemic and I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was that bad, to be honest. I mean, I think it was bad, but like I thought it was the fashion industry, you know what I mean? As someone who works in entertainment, like I know that, and someone who also works in inclusion and equity and things of that nature, I it's what I would expect back then, you know. I think that like it was groundbreaking is such a strong word, so I don't want to use that, but it wasn't
It was groundbreaking.
typical. Yeah, but I just don't want to use that word. But it wasn't typical like TV. It wasn't a typical type of competition show. It wasn't a typical type of cast that they showcased. And so I think that like
And she
while
broke
it
the mold.
exposed, yeah, she broke the mold. And I think that, just like, I'm a big fan of reality TV, especially reality competition shows at the expense of the contestants, at the expense of like the castmates. And so I think that like I do hate that people had horrible experiences. But I do have, my little problematic take that I talked about with Lauren and Miles is I wonder, what did she say? I'm not sharing it.
It's Sharon.
No.
I see.
Um, but
She right though.
but anyway, I I I do wonder if doors were open and if more opportunities were given, would we still look in this contempt because we were 'cause, no one's excuse like they were misused and for some folks abused and like
For sure.
traumatized and like exploited. Above all, they were exploited for nothing. They got nothing out of the deal. But I wonder how much of that would have been at the forefront if this really did open up doors for them, if this really did, like, I think about Baddies, you know what I mean? Like, I think about that being a show that, like, people, they might not, they will never be on these, higher elevated reality television shows, but they have, they have a following. They have people who are a cult following, so to speak. Like, they have people, and they're getting money that they wasn't necessarily going to get. And so,
I
like,
disagree.
the Baddies.
No, not the baddies.
Oh, that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
saying
Like,
the
and I
success
wonder
rate.
if this was the same, like, if the women on here, like, if this was like a modern day TV show, if the women on here were getting like platforms, were getting a whole bunch of followers, and like were getting sort of like like Alandria. Look at Alandria from Love Island. Like like if they were,
She got a
of course,
whole Barbie.
not everyone can be Alandria, but and not everybody can be PPG like Serena and Leah and
And
Jana.
that's the point right there. Like everybody can like, and that I think that's where it gets sorted out, where they pick these girls. Maybe they picked the wrong freaking girls because maybe they didn't have that quality. Yeah, I'm saying it. Maybe they didn't have the it girl factor, and they didn't have the grind that it took to continue their careers. Because you still had successful models from America's Next Top Model, some that didn't even win. Like
personality.
Takara is a household name. Like we all, well, in our
Like,
community,
I
we
knew
all
about Takara before even knowing she was America's
exactly,
Top Model. Like I just like I would see her on like the BET like shows. They're like, oh yeah, Takara, Miss Model, like plus size model, and like her talking about that journey. And I never correlated that she got it from Top Model.
exactly.
I did know Eva was on Top Model because I feel like that was like a big thing that
She
everyone
was a
always
big one.
Eva from Top Model. Like that was her.
She
Like
married
Eva
a man from
Top
Beaumont.
Model. Um, Lauren brother know him. Lauren
Oh,
know
I
him.
didn't know that.
Why people are surprised. I knew watching the show back then that they would.
But yeah, like I feel like some of those, like they didn't have the grind. Like they put a lot of the blame on, oh, I came from America's Next Top Model and people said that reality TV this, reality TV that. But like if you got the grind and you got the it girl shit, you gonna pop. Like the
Well,
girls that popped.
and Sammy, and I talked about this with you moons ago, and so I don't know if you remember, but like we know reality TV wasn't that girl to be in back in the day. That was a death sentence. That was career suicide. That was if
True.
you were on reality television, then say goodbye to your professional life. Like you weren't. It
True.
was the same way as like when we were coming up, and they were like, "Be mindful of your social media footprint." And so it's like these people got on reality, and mind you, taking advantage of people who I don't want to say desperate because, like, you know what I mean. Like, I don't
Cause
mean
some were desperate.
yeah, but I don't mean it in that way. Like, there's nothing wrong with like wanting more in life and all these types of things. But like, like there were some folks who really like were craving that type of opportunity and like just craving a chance and a shot. And I do think it's hard to know who's a star because some people might not blossom in that same
Yeah.
way. And like
And that ain't
some people
America's Next
pressure
Top
does make
Model's fault.
diamonds. It's not, but it is production's fault. And I do think that production and the leaders and the judges and Tyra all had a responsibility to protect these women, and they did not.
They did. I agree with that. I feel like they all had a responsibility, like how they put it on Tyra and Jay Manuel was like, yeah, I kind of stepped back and I wasn't involved in creative, but you're
You were on there
watching
for
them do
19
this.
seasons,
Huh?
but you were on for 19 seasons.
Yeah, you were watching them do this. And then like back to what you said about how they stepped on reality TV. Now, I would say the first five season girls, if like they was testing the waters trying to see whatever, I'll give them that. But after five
For sure, the
seasons
first
and you
three.
huh?
I said for sure the first three, at least the first
Yeah,
two.
after five seasons and you see that these girls ain't popping and these girls ain't making it, you need to go ahead and do the study. Do the study. Hey,
And
why
that's what
aren't
I
they
was
why
thinking.
aren't they on magazines? Why aren't they this, like, where are the other top models? Now, anybody after season 10, you know better.
And
You
that's
know.
what I was telling Lauren and them. And like and Lauren was like, well, yeah, but I'm still not gonna put the responsibility. I thought she was gonna be up here. I would have loved to hear more of her thoughts. But
Oh, I would have loved to hear Lauren. Lauren would have chewed us out.
yeah, and she was shooing me out, and I heard her, and my point still stood. Like I do think that most of this responsibility goes to the judges, and I think that they didn't protect the women, and
It
I
does.
also do think that these women, especially like you said, after season 10,
Well,
like
I don't even think it goes to the
they knew what
judges.
they signed up for.
It goes to that TV production company and creative,
But
because
I think so
while we are
too.
throwing shade at the judges are working just like these girls trying to make a check. Tyra was looking at trying to make a check. Like these people
Well,
are trying to make a check.
and I
So
was
they
saying
are
too.
answering to production. Production is the one saying, "Hey, like we can't go with another. We can't have too many black girls here. It's too many
And
colors."
I ain't see y'all buck up to Ken Mock yet. But
That part.
I was talking to I think Tati and some other people about like the fact that like I think people forgot that Tyra was trying to make sure that this was successful because she was a black woman who they were counting on to fail. And
Exactly.
so it does you get into that nuance where you think about, well, they didn't want her to succeed. And like they
And now they putting it on her.
exactly. And I think that
Like
that's
she was the
fair.
whole, like
She
she
was the
funded the
face.
whole thing. She came up with everything. She's telling, like Tyra saw every clip and she picked the exact clip. Tyra wasn't in there the whole damn night. Maybe the first
No.
two seasons, yes, but Tyra wasn't in there the whole time, like picking these scenes out and
Yeah.
doing A, B, and C. Like it's the whole production behind that. It's them
Yeah.
folks.
And I agree. I think that it's mostly production's fault, and that's like one of the reasons why I wanted to do DEI in entertainment because I love Big Brother, and like the way that they treat our black women there is horrible, and like the way that they
Hmm.
ostracize people, the way like being on these reality television shows, especially in the earlier years where there was not like a diversity mandate and where people weren't mindful of like who are the people we're bringing in the room, and they only had 1 to 2 black people in like a cast of 18 or however many people was so isolating. And when you're in these, as someone who works with groups and works with communities, you're in sort of like a space of like the other or like the outside, like the one that doesn't fit. You're going to turn on them first. You're going to connect with like-minded, similar people off top,
Hmm.
and that's with any
Very
group,
true.
especially when you think about like the dynamics of power and privilege when it comes to systemic things like race and like class and things of that nature. Like the white girls are going to stay with the white girls, the white thin girls who are like, conventionally attractive. Like they're going to versus like, like the Eva the Divas and like Yaya's, Takara, beautiful women, gorgeous women. But who knows how their experience would have been if the three of them and probably whoever else was on there wasn't like that's the only season I watched. So, but like if there wasn't, and like I was like, oh, three black people, like three black like famous women. Like I remember hearing these women names. Like I didn't know they were all on the same season. That's insane. I was like, wait, so who
Mm-hmm.
won it? Was it Yaga or was it Eva? And then I found out it was Eva. Um, but like yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna get to some of these questions.
I
And
forgot you even had questions. We had
I
a
know
lot
we
of tea to chat.
yeah, I know we talked about some. But so if A&TM launch careers and also harm people, what does accountability look like now? Is it a public apology? Is it financial reparations? Is it sort of like trying to push for more protections in reality TV and production? All of it, or something else in entirety?
What money do they have to do anything? I think that's the thing. Like the only thing they can do now is like send out an apology and like push for more awareness in the industry. But outside of that, what what they got?
I think and I'm here with you. I think I was talking about this with a few other friends. I think Michaela, I'm surprised she didn't join or text me. Did she text me? But or no, it wasn't Michaela, but I talked about it with her again. I talked about it with somebody else. I'm like, I wonder, I think it was you, if I would have paid you out, would that have been like,
They
like
definitely would have shut the hell up.
what number do you want? And now it all, you know what I mean? And I hate to say it like that because and to
People
Lauren,
have a number.
it's kind of victim shaming and blaming, and it's not their fault at all. But it's like they have a right to have grievances. They have a right to be fucked off, like pissed off, like like these people exploited them, and for what? And
Hmm.
for what?
For a TV show that they don't have no more.
Exactly. And so, yeah, like it's interesting, but I do think a public apology from the production and from like
Yeah.
I everyone wants it to be from Tyra, and I think that Tyra is being mindful. Like that can get
And who's
received.
getting paid off this little quick docu series? That's what we need to know.
Tati. Oh, but I think
F
that
that
it can get
apology.
litigious. I think that if Tyra comes to the forefront, and I think she does need to personally apologize to people of like,
Yeah, I
hey,
think
even
that
if
she
I
missed
didn't
her
do it,
mark there for
yeah.
sure.
But I think I'm not apologizing on TV or apologizing on TV publicly for y'all to then say I'm the one and hey hey, I didn't tell you to do this. I didn't make you do that. I did encourage and I did say if you want to be on the show, and that's like coercion tactics. That's manipulation. That's abuse. And
Yep.
so, moving forward, do you separate Tyra as a person, um, from Tyra as the face of the machine, or does being the face mean that you have to own the outcomes? To my point,
That's a tough one because I do feel like being the face, you have to own the outcomes. But again, I go back to feeling like it's unfair because she's getting all the bad outcomes and not, the way that she paved the way a bit.
what Candy said. Why am I getting so much
But
backlash?
yeah, being the face, you definitely hold that weight.
I
They
agree.
blame you for everything. Beyonce, they blame Beyonce for everything, child.
Exactly. And so I think that that's unfortunate, but I do think heavy is the head that wears the crown. And so when you do act up, you're
But
gonna have to.
like, it's just hard to say like Tyra couldn't have her hand on every simple like once America's Next Top Model grew to what it grew to, she couldn't have her hands on every single thing. You can't expect that woman to clock
You can't.
everything. Huh?
Exactly. You can't.
Oh, I thought you said you can.
Oh, no.
I was about to
No,
say, well,
well, I mean, I think that there's a way like, if it really meant that much to her. But here's the thing, baby, she was talent just like these girls was talent. Like she's
Mhm.
coming to do what she's doing, and she's thinking about like the bigger picture, thinking about what's next. Like the higher you get, the less you get into the minutia because you don't care. And you're not checking, and people aren't gonna like. She's becoming distant, so people probably aren't saying like, "Hey, Tyra, this is happening." Um.
Tati,
Anyway,
please.
Exactly. I'm gonna apply for the next season, y'all. Wish me luck. But and going into consent and boundaries. So when the
Don't
doc
piss me
showed the
off.
contestants describing invasive production and blurred boundaries, what do you feel like should have been the non-negotiable protections on set? Or like do you think that they were in their right as this is like a documentary?
You saying on set for the America's Next Top Model or the
Yeah.
documentary?
Well, no,
Um,
like they were saying. So you know, a lot of these shows started like Real Housewives of Orange County started as a documentary series. Like reality
okay.
television, and reality ensemble casts grew from like documentaries, and they became like showcasing people's life to now being about like the drama and like the oh that factor.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there should have been more protections there, especially like when it came to the healthcare, like the teeth situation. That girl, which one? They like pulled so many teeth, and she was never able to go back and get like whatever fixed. Granted, she did sit there and say, "Hey, like I'll take it, whatever." But what the hell? Are we really bringing them to a damn doctor to operate and do these things? Like, is
That's
everybody
insane. Like,
okay?
what was the and like you hurried up and you signed it and all these types of things. Like, it would not, it was not gonna ever be me. My mom didn't
Because
raise
you're
me that
thinking
way.
you're gonna get there.
My mama never raised me that way, and so like I'm not going to be exploited to that point. Um, it just won't happen. You know what
Yeah.
I
And then like with Shandy, the if I'm drunk, if I'm whatever, cut the cameras off.
so exactly why is it even air? Well, I think
Why did
also
they even
too.
follow her?
Well, and I think that's where like this blurred line is BS. Like, well, it's a documentary, so if she was getting beat up, you wouldn't jump in either. If
Yeah,
she
you
was
just
getting
gonna watch her
jumped,
get towed
you
up.
wasn't just gonna let her get yeah. So it's like the same way of like and you know back then I think that this is like sort of like for sure like a not a generational thing but a time thing. Like I think that like
It
because
is.
of the times people rape culture was such a thing and it still is and it was so horrible back then and it was very like well I mean she didn't say and they didn't and I think that that was like a growth like a big misstep that they didn't even acknowledge that that was like
Mm-hmm.
sexual assault like
Very
they
much
brushed over
so.
that. I saw everyone talking about it before I watched the show and then I watched the show and I'm like oh we're supposed to decide that this is like it
Not the
is
people on set
you
sitting there
think on it
watching.
yeah, and not the people in the documentary. And so as y'all talk, and that could have been cut out. They could have said those things. It was like, you know, legally, let's remove that. But it's just like y'all made it as if she cheated on her boyfriend, and that was the big thing. She was,
No, she was intoxicated. We don't know if she said yes or no or what.
yeah, just because she's kissing them, girl. That is not like, you know what I mean, and
And
it
we
just,
we knew that she was at a limit to where if she even said yes, it was not. It wasn't right.
it
So
wasn't.
that's just wild, just wild. And then for them to like add more insult to the injury, and go and follow her around when she called her boyfriend, and he didn't called her a stupid fucking bitch. What he called her?
Anyway, next case. What pissed me off about him is that she said that they were together after the show and then he broke up. What the hell you got back with me for after doing all these? And also, Shandy, hey, I stand with you in your story. Nobody was seeing you in the street talking about calling you no whore slut.
She said
Nobody.
somebody called her a whore. I believe it.
No
People
one's
be having
doing
their
that.
mouths.
No
Huh?
one's doing that. I
I
don't know
believe
how
it.
big America's Next Top Model was around that time, but no one's doing
It
that.
was big. It was big because like it was what I watched. Want to be look,
But I mean, so like people like
and they
you
were
know,
in New
like,
York. Like she moved to New York,
yeah.
so they were right there with it. So I believe somebody stopped and called her a dirty
I
skank
believe
hoe.
she probably called that. She was called it in the chat rooms, but someone
I believe somebody did it in
multiple
person
multiple people
because
coming
it
in.
was our people.
It's
It was our
her.
people watching also. So you don't think that one of our people see somebody on the street that like she love whatever.
But we not gonna be like, "Hey, ho, you." We gonna be like, "Girl, that's the da da da." Now we
That's
might
the hoe
say
right
it.
there. And that's probably what they did. They probably said that's the hoe right there.
Exactly, and did. But people
But
weren't
still, like
talking.
they said it.
People weren't. Are
That's
you
the whole right
the
there.
cheating skank? That's not happening. It's not happening.
I think some
So,
people will do it.
and moving on to the next, and I'm glad we talked about Shandy a little bit, but moving on to the next sort of set. Where's the line between the modeling industry is harsh and we're manufacturing cruelty for entertainment? Because it got to a point where they were talking about promoting violence and promoting like like these disorders and things of that nature, and like just like being in the like some things are fun, like like them walking with the little clocks. I love that. It's fun to me. But having them walk on a tightrope, like some of those things are just a little bit too dangerous. And I remember, so my first season
For
was
no
American
reason.
Next Top Model season 20, and I remember they were like climbing up like a skyscraper or something. For what?
See, they had lost me there because I wasn't even tuned in. But
Thank you, Tati.
I
Her whole town was calling her that. Nobody in the streets of New York give a fuck.
but then the one where the girl, her mother had suffered from gun violence, and they had her do that shoot where she
Cool.
was shot in. Like, I feel like
Cool.
that was inconsiderate and cruel, especially because she said that they do like a backstory, like they get your whole, like,
They want to
background
know
and
what they're going to put
information.
in your package when they're talking about you. And I have friends who've been on reality television now, and they talk about that of like, oh yeah, they're always crafting a story, and so they want you to like lean into that story, and lean into those like whatever that may be.
Lean into my ass. Don't have me doing no damn photo shoot where I'm getting shot in the head and I told you my mama been shot.
And like honestly, she could have been like, "Oh, girl, yeah," and like but like y'all are insane, and you want a reaction out of people.
Yeah. And then it's the fact that she was, a black woman sitting there. They want her to break down and, be angry, like, or be overly emotional, like, hey, they got me doing
So they
this
can console
photo
her.
shoot.
And yet,
Yeah, they got
y'all
me
was
doing this
consoling
photo
her while you
shoot.
over here trying to turn it on to Tyra. And so, in talking about complicity, the judges and producers who say like, we wish we set boundaries and X, Y, Z. Do you think that that's actual growth, or is it like them trying to preserve, like self preservation, as they're scapegoating Tyra?
I'm in the middle because they could be grown. Because again, like you said, it was a time thing. Because back then, people weren't aware and people didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like, we're more aware, we're more advocating, we're more, like, no, we're not having that here. And then also saving face, like, oh, we gonna pin that on Tyra because she was running this shit, and it don't help that they ain't
Don't
friends.
put me in
So
this. I'm pitching tomorrow.
yeah, but like they came there for that check. They knew what the fuck was going on wasn't right. Like, you get that feeling when you know something is not right, but you didn't want to miss out on this America's Next Top Model money.
And you didn't.
And now you
And you
waiting
didn't.
until the show is
And you
over
were
and done,
on
and
it
now
for
you feel so
so
much regret.
long. You were on it
So
for
much
so long.
regret.
Like Sammy, there's some things that like if I feel that, and I'm I say this all the time, girl. A lot of stuff don't move me like it used to. So there's some things that I'm like, okay, next case. Um, but if there was something that moved me that I felt compelled, I'm leaving. I'm heading out. I'm speaking up, and I'm going.
Yeah.
And like you have to understand that like that means like if that means because what did you get after Top Model? I mean they are doing things, but it's just like you act like you wasn't gonna get nothing. Like he said in season 8, Jay said in season 8, they told him, okay, girl, you leave if you want to, and then
You stay. But on the flip side, I will say that, I mean, in our time now, we have more protections in place and more, like, where if something goes down, like, we could take this to court, we could do A, B, and C, we'll have the press at your fucking door. But
exactly.
back then, they probably would have shamed them, saying like, "Oh, that's the industry, and if you can't rock with it." So there is a little flip side to it, but still, stand on your character is everything. Stand on what you stand for.
Exactly. And just the last question I have, just because a lot of people say that they had so many issues, being on this type of show and XYZ. Um, if America's Next Top Model framed or shaped some of your ideals of beauty, what did it teach you that you had to unlearn?
Um, I don't think it really, like. I more so just watched it for the end pictures. Like when they
This
judge
is
the
what I
pictures
think,
at
like, a
the
lot of
end,
people who I know who watched it, like, they're just like, "Oh, it was a
it didn't change.
TV show." Like, I didn't
I'll
feel the
say
need.
it didn't change my view of beauty because I wasn't in that world. Like I wasn't in the modeling industry or that world. So I knew that like my goal was never to be a size 2T and to be 6'6", 5'9", 5'10". You know, I knew that I wasn't growing anymore. But, you know, like their standards, and I always knew that their standards were never ours. Like, and that goes for some of the Caucasian health standards too. So we're gonna leave that there. So I don't think they really shaped too much beauty. I was there for the pictures at the end and for them like to watch them execute and then see it, you know, full fledged in the photos.
I agree. Like, I think I never watched it, but when I watched it, I was like, "Oh, this is, like, kinda fun." Like, I watch reality shows. I watch Big Brother. I watch, like, XYZ, like, let me watch this one too, and, like, I didn't see it during its, like I heard about it, of course. Like, I wasn't under the rock. I
Mm-hmm.
heard about, like, "Oh, yeah, she made people race swap," but, like, I didn't even think that that was, like, a major problem. We grew up in Beaumont, girl, like, baby
But we
race.
know that that's a damn problem.
Yeah, and so no, exactly, but it's, like, to the point of, like, the way that people are like, "Oh my god, you did it. What you shame for now?"
Mm-hmm.
Your god sisters love to say that. "What you shame for now? You was doing it. The hell you know, come here. You had no problem with it earlier." And so I, I hope that it didn't scar so many folks, and, like, I know that it scarred the folks who were experiencing it more than it probably scarred the people at home, and, like, I think that that's the most important thing to center in and focus in right now, and so I do hope that, like, these ladies are getting some semblance of release and peace, and, like, I can't I wasn't abused by the production or Tyra or, like, the judges, and so, like, who am I to say, like, like this is enough or what they're looking for. Like they only them to know like what they're looking for. But I do hope they find some semblance in their heart to move on. You can't hold on to what people do to you.
Mm-hmm.
You could try to hold them accountable, of course, and like a machine. I would be terrified trying to hold a machine accountable. Shit.
What you do? Oh, you charge your
Hello.
Yeah,
Sorry.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
When you do
But yeah,
something wrong, what you do?
I'd be ashamed to try to hold a machine. Like, or not ashamed. I'll be afraid to try to hold a machine
Afraid.
accountable. So I get
Yeah,
it.
because you'd have to stand against the whole industry, and they still hadn't made that change. You know, like we should be doing things differently. So
Like, who's gonna listen to little old me? Cause y'all don't. And
they sure
so,
would have ripped my ass up. Dark skin, plus size. Oh, they would have told me up.
baby, look, and
What you
like
mean?
even
We're giving you the opportunity of a lifetime.
Mhm. we
Tyra would
were
have ripped me
rooting
to
for
shit.
you.
We were rooting for you. All we asked for you to do was pose in this McDonald's picture with a cheeseburger.
But I look, I think that so many of these things are capsules. I think that if we think about like Flavor of Love and like these dating shows and all those things, like we will be having so much to say about that as well. Not
Oh,
that we
for
should.
sure. I went back on Flavor of Love. We surely would have had a lot to say.
Yeah, like, like, I
Surely.
think yeah, like, I think that, like, like, even the fact that Flav and, like, that Brett Rock person, Rock the Love, like, these were ugly men who were, like, utilizing their fame and their, like, to get which people do all the time, and, like, the thing that's so sad about this is that, like, this stuff is so insidious that, like, people experience this without even getting, like, exposure or a semblance of money or a semblance of recognition. You know what I mean? Like people were experiencing what the American Next Top
Because
Model
they
people
were show fucking on Flav.
exactly.
And that is something I would die and not tell nobody. Like
Girl,
you.
a single person,
You
a single
nasty
person.
hoes. Well, it's on,
But
and that was also that show. They caught a lot of sexual, sexual moments on camera. Like they would have the mics on, and they'll go to Flay's room. I remember that. They'll go to Flay's room, and you'll hear the little whatever. Like
insane. But is there anything? Thank you so much, Sammy, and thank you all for joining me. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Is there anything else, Sammy, that you want to share, add, or plug in before we head out?
No, not that I can think of. Oh, follow Chocolates HTX on Instagram. I have my Chocolates Pilates classes dropping, going, coming through. My next class is the last Tuesday in March, and I also will be in LA come March the 21st.
Montreal, we looking for you.
Oh, you're
And
missing.
And I just want to say, yeah, thank y'all. As usual, I'll be posting or going live the last Wednesday of every month. And I'm trying to release some content on Wednesdays. And so, like, I would love to, like, some of these things that I'm like talking about that I don't have a lot of time to talk about, like going on a deeper dive on a Wednesday TikTok live. But still working through those logistics with the team. And once I like really get that settled down and sat down, then like we up. But thank y'all so much for joining. And
Not you, messy Brittany. I was just telling Woody that too. I was like, Brittany was on my ass because I didn't send the link.
bye,
I told
baby.
you.